Top of the morning, gorgeous people. I don't know when you may be watching this, but it's top of the morning for me. I have a 5-hour wedding today. That is a half day for me. A typical full day for me is anywhere between 8 and 12 hours, depending on what the client needs from me. I just wanted to show you guys before I head out today, what's in my camera bag? What do I pack on a wedding day? What do I need? What do I pack that I typically don't use, but I pack it just in case for those specific scenarios? So let's get into it. So this is one of my bags of goodies and my second case of goodies as well. So I used the Peter McKinnon bag. I'm not sure the size of it. It's the smaller one though. And I honestly forgot the name of it. I just know it's the Peter McKinnon bag. I've had it for about 6 months now. Absolutely love it. Super convenient. But I also bring my Pelican case as well. This is the Pelican 1510 case, which is their travel case, the carry-on size. So I keep all of my additional lenses in here, cables that I need and stuff like that. I use 2 R5s on a wedding day. There's only one here because I'm using one of them to shoot this video right now. And then for backup, just in case, I carry my Canon R with me as well. So that's usually tucked off in my Pelican case somewhere, just in case. I do shoot with 2 camera bodies, and I'll kind of give you a sense of what I use depending on what time of day it is during a wedding day. So first things first, it's September in Connecticut, so you know we don't have too much more time before it starts getting cold. It's gonna be 82, 83 degrees today, so I'm gonna most likely just wear, you know, these are just general sweats, but I'm gonna throw on some black pants and probably just my black Norman Oaks photography polo. But as it starts getting colder in Connecticut, so my later September, my October weddings, I love that because I dress up more. I'll typically wear a full suit and really start getting into some of the style things for my wedding days. But in the summer, it's too hot to be wearing full suit, so I'll typically just wear my dry fit Nike. So first things first is my Hold Fast double strap that I use. I just got this maybe a month ago. It is there, again, I don't know what color it is, but it's the the leather brown one. I forgot, you know, they have real specific names for their stuff. I don't know the name. And then I got the black canvas bag. This has been really interesting to me. I have not used it yet. Today is my first time using the canvas bag. Now I typically will carry my Peter McKinnon bag around with me all day with extra lenses on it. But now that I have this, I could probably put 2 to 4 lenses in here and have them on me at the same time. So today will be my first time testing that out. Let me actually try it out right now, because they say you should be able to just feel around and drop your lenses in there. That's one. That's a big lens too. That's a 85. This is a 16, no, 35. Let's throw that on this side. Yeah. So you got your cameras. On you. And then if you need to swap it out, you should be able to unmount, pick one up, mount it, throw the other one in the back, and now you don't have to walk around with any bags on you. So not sponsored, I just love Hold Fast gear. So I'm really interested to see how this works out today. So I'm gonna just bring some of this stuff over here, give you guys a quick rundown of how my day goes. Typically, I start my days off with prep photography. So when I start prep of the day, I'll have one R5, and I'm typically gonna use my Canon 28-70 f2. Now this is a big lens. As you see, I work out, and you're gonna need to work out if you ever wanted to do a whole wedding day with the Canon 28-70. Is a very heavy lens, but I love it. It's super versatile, and it allows me to get a lot done in my day without having to swap out so many different lenses. So well worth the money. I think when I bought it, I paid $3,100 or $3,200. I think you can get it slightly cheaper than that now, but I paid full price, and I think it's completely worth it. I've owned it for about 1.5 years now. This is typically on camera body 1, and typically on the second body is my Sigma 35mm f1.4. So that's typically how I'm starting my day. I could do flat lays with that, either at 35, and if I want to get some details, I can zoom in all the way to 50 or 70 millimeters on my Canon lens and get those detail shots. I'll also pop on from time to time my Canon macro 100mm. Now this lens is very situational. I only use it to take pictures of rings. That's just my preference. I know other photographers use it for other things. Typically, the only time this is on for maybe 5 minutes of the day, and it's to take pictures, close-ups of the ring. So I will lay out the rings on top of an invitation or on the shoes or on a bouquet, and then that's typically done for the day. It's the only time I use my macro. Something else that I keep in my bag from time to time well, it's always in my bag, I just use it from time to time, is my Insta360 X4. Had this for a couple months. Love it, love the quality of it. I love being able to just pop it on, let it record, and I don't have to worry about it because it captures everything. It's a 360 camera, and I use this for behind the scenes. So if I'm taking pictures of the bride and groom or the wedding party and we're kind of like interacting and having a good time, I love getting some of those behind the scenes shots so I can share on like social media and things of that nature. Sometimes I do hire a dedicated behind the scenes videographer, depending on the wedding day, how long it is, and what I have going on. But sometimes this is an easy, cheaper solution. You can just throw it up, let it run for 20-30 minutes, and then when you get back to your computer, you can look through it and pick what looks best and what you want to use and dump the rest. Now, moving on from prep is ceremony, unless we're doing a first look. But just say we're going traditional, we're going right into the ceremony. Typically, at that point, on my two camera bodies, I'm working with my 35mm Sigma and my 85mm Sigma as well. So I got like a wider focal range, and I have a more portrait style focal range. And if I need to get closer or further away, I just move my feet. Typically, that's what I go with. If I am at a ceremony where there's a lot of distance though, sometimes I will go 70-200 and 28-70. The only issue with this is if it's in like a cathedral or a church or something like that that isn't well lit, this only stops down to f2.8 and this stops at f2, which is great. But the 1.4 that you get out of the Sigmas, the prime lenses, just can't beat it. So I'm typically 85 and 35 for the ceremony. So after the ceremony, we're typically getting into our portraits of the bride and groom and our portraits of the bridal party, family, and close siblings and things of that nature. Typically at that time, again, this is why I love this lens, 28-70. I have so much range. I can get a wide shot of a bridal party that may have 20 people in it, or I can zoom in and I can get portraits of just the bride or solos of just the groom or couple shots with this one lens and one camera without having to keep swapping them out. And then if I want something more portrait style, my second camera body will have my 85-1.4. So I typically will only use my 85-1.4. Obviously, I'm not usually using this for group shots. This will be for couple shots, those really close, intimate, kissing, hugging, ring shot type of portraits during the cocktail hour or during the first look if we do a first look prior to the ceremony. So there are some scenarios where I need a super ultra wide shot because there's 25-30 people in the wedding party and I have limited space. In that scenario, I would pop off one of those lenses and put on my Canon 16-35mm, but that would just be for maybe 3 to 4 minutes and then it's coming right back off. So very situational lens. I used to also use this a lot during reception time where it kind of turns into the club and it's like a mosh pit and everybody's in there dancing and you want to be super close, but you need a wide shot as well. Typically, I would use this as well, but I actually have a new solution that allows me to let in way more light. I've had this lens, the Sigma 20mm, not the 24, the Sigma 20mm f1.4. Absolutely love it. It's a wide shot and it stops down to f1.4. So I use this almost 99% of the time for those later in the night shots, those on the dance floor shots where everybody's having a good old time and I need to be in and close to everybody but still need that wide shot. It hasn't failed me yet, and it also allows me to keep my ISO down. So before, when I was using the Canon 16-35, ISO would be at 2,000, 3,000 sometimes. This allows me to stop down to f1.4, ISO at like 600, 800, reduces the grain, and I just love how the shots look at night at f1.4. So phenomenal lens. So again, typically at the end of the night, I am having my Sigma 20mm f1.4 on one camera body, and again the Canon 28-70 on the other. So I'm going around table to table. I'm getting guest shots, I'm getting table shots and things of that nature. Sometimes I need a wider shot, sometimes I need to zoom in more. So I keep this on. This lens is on my camera. One of my cameras probably 85% of the day. No joke. So that was a quick rundown of what's in my camera bag on a wedding day. What do I pack? What do I use? What's situational? So hopefully this was valuable to you, and I will catch you guys on the next one.